Hello and welcome to a quick chartpattern.com video on how and when to sell your stock. In this case, I'm going to discuss how Dan decides to sell a stock. Although this is a very dynamic process and it depends on the position and the profits and the bar action of the individual stock that we're discussing, I'm going to use Rhino today as an example. This was a breakout we bought right here in this $13, $14 range when it tightened up here, and the stock broke out. In this case, you see solid buying as the stock continued to move from that $13, $14 level all the way to near $20. Now, the last two sessions have presented the first opportunity to really consider selling the stock off. And what changed that's important that we see here is we can use a couple of tools to notice them, but we're also going to notice the volume, which is very important in this example. If you draw an ascending trend line, you'll notice the first warning sign is we kind of lost that angle and we've come below it. Now that alone isn't enough to necessarily jump out the window on a position which we bought at 13 or 14 and we're now sitting at $19 a share. But in this case, what did happen that's important is the volume that kicked up. You'll notice we moved up on heavy volume. We then went flat on volume a little bit at the top where we started to base sideways. And then the bar that broke below the last 5 bars, this bar right here, was on higher volume. And so that was our first warning sign. Now, that might not be enough to sell the position after such a solid move in the stock. But today brings about the real decision to dump the stock. And that is when you see that break below that bar, again, on high volume, and we're talking about it's only 1:30 p.m. and this stock is already near the volume of the previous day, it's time to get rid of the stock. And so you got a couple of warning signs. You have that ascending trend line that broke. You have this consolidation that started and a break below it on higher volume on this bar. And then today you have a break below that bar to further confirm along with intraday high volume selling. And so a mixture of these conditions are enough to dump that stock. Now some will say that weak holders dump the stock and it'll bounce, in which case you can always buy the stock back. But certainly when you get a few of these warning signs, first the trend line break, second the high volume sell bar, and then the continuous further heavy selling, it's a good idea to close your position and consider repurchase at a future date or time. And so in this example, this would be a perfect example of when to get out of the stock. Is today's was a perfect signal to dump this stock as soon as it saw further weakness. If you have any further questions and any other issues, please see us at chartpattern.com, and we're going to do some other videos on other selling stock examples. Thanks and have a great day.